A real case occurred in Thailand in 2010. The police found the bodies of over 300 babies in the temple. In further investigation later on, surprisingly over 1,700 more were found. They were placed one by one in plastic bags. A total of 202 corpses. Adapted from this case into today's movie. Jingxi Zire is a photographer. Frequent access to crime scenes. His wife Xiaoping is a high school teacher. Two people are close and in love with each other, raising a daughter together. The life of Yamai's family of 3 is peaceful and happy. But my daughter has been behaving strangely lately, always speaking strangely into the air. There is still a little brother accompanying her, but every time Yamai introduces this younger brother to her parents. But my parents couldn't even see a single person. Perhaps this is just a psychological illness caused by a child's lack of emotional companionship as an only child. To this end, the two try to find time to accompany their daughter as much as possible. However, the matter is not as simple as imagined. That night, Xiaoping once spoke to the air in the bedroom. Under the questioning of my parents, he handed over a backpack, said this was given to him by his younger brother at the entrance of a nearby temple. Xiaohei opens his backpack and takes a look. There is only a palm-sized child wooden inside, occasionally related to temples, always exuding an evil aura. This makes Xiaohei and Xiaoping feel very uneasy, so Zirei put the puppet back at the entrance of the temple, and took a few photos of the puppet out of professional habits. Who knows, when flipping through photos, discovered a shadow resembling a child's face. He was taken aback. At the same time, comfort him and say, maybe it's just the light that just makes him feel at ease. It's just that the weird thing didn't end there, but more and more. First, I was awakened by a strange sound in the middle of the night. I saw many children's fingerprints on the photo frame at home. He thought it was Yamei who caused it, but he said it was his little brother's fingerprint. Meanwhile, Yamei is always in danger, not on the edge of the rooftop. It's on a high swing, and he told his parents it was his younger brother. Let him do this. Another night, Xiaohei works overtime alone. I'm working on a camera and researching plans with my colleagues. At the same time, suddenly say, there is a child standing behind him, and then the signal went off. Xiaohei was scared half to death, because there's no one else in his room. On the other side, Xiaoping's student Xiaoguan falls in love with childhood friend Po and becomes pregnant. Due to our boss' hesitation in attitude, Xiaogun decided to have this fetus aborted with ruthlessness. However, due to lack of money, she was introduced by her best friend. I had to find a black clinic for an abortion. The girl pointed ahead and said, there is a child there. Mother opens along the direction of her fingers, the backpack in front of me. It turned out to be the body of a baby inside. It scared my mother a lot. Husband rushed over at the sound. Open her backpack with her. There's no baby body inside. It's just a weird toy. Here. Xiaogun came to the black clinic for surgery with a middle-aged woman. She's not a doctor. I just used to work as a nurse. After completing the surgery, Xiaogun, due to massive bleeding, on the verge of death, and the best friend who accompanied her here was frightened by the tragedy, unexpectedly left the small level and ran away. Fortunately, Paul promptly sent her to the hospital for treatment, just to save Xiaogun's life. Xiaoping makes every effort to protect students, yet unaware of the crisis her daughter is facing. Wake up from a dream at night, discovering once again that her daughter has disappeared. The clue points to the temple. He hurried to the temple, and let Xiaohei, who is still working overtime, rush over as well. When Xiaohei arrives, I only saw the cries for help from my wife and daughter in the 2 rows of morgues at the entrance of the temple. Xiaohei desperately pried open the door. Seeing the dark depths of this morgue, there seems to be something terrifying about my wife and daughter. Not letting them escape, he pulled his wife out with all his might, and also rescued my daughter. Just as he was excitedly hugging his daughter, my daughter suddenly said, as if she had changed a person, I want to listen to my mouth. Like Xi Road. Xiaohei turned his head to look at his wife, discovering her daughter in her wife's arms, and the child in hand turned into the body of a fetus. He exclaimed in horror, but he's like a fierce ghost, dragged Zirei into the nearby mud, and then millions of stillborn babies surged out of the mud, wanting to devour Xiaohei and send him to the hospital without any trauma, but lost consciousness. A woman who was stunned but also sent to this hospital showed the same symptoms. 2 people are arranged in the same ward, but it was the so-called younger brother who was pestering Yamei. It was the child conceived by Xiaohei, and this woman through an extramarital affair. Xiaohei cheated on this woman, but I don't want to leave the child behind. To avoid damaging his family, after learning that a woman is pregnant, without hesitation, let a woman have an abortion. As for why these fetal ghosts roam the temple, it's because the female doctors at the black clinic perform many abortion surgeries every day. He wrapped the dead fetus in a plastic bag, delivered to the gatekeeper of this temple. Private transaction between 2 people. The female doctor gave the doorman some money. The gatekeeper threw these dead fetuses into the incinerator and destroyed them. Leave no evidence behind. In a Thai university, a female student fell from a building and died. Just as this reporter was taking photos of the girl's body, the girl's eyes opened unexpectedly. The reporter was stunned by the eerie scene, and the colleagues on the side didn't see anything. But the weird thing is not over yet. Moving corpses. When descending stairs, the body unexpectedly twisted. This can scare away quite a bit. but the collie next to me didn't do anything. As time goes by, this place has handled over 2,000 deaths. The resentment is very strong. Actually, the ghosts of these stillborn babies. Have you ever chased and killed this female doctor? But in the end, he still survived. Although she was the one who directly killed the fetus. But she actually has a very kind heart. Female doctors allow fetuses to be reincarnated as soon as possible, instead of falling into this world. This is the better choice. Not only did it help my mother, and helped the fetus, and if the fetus is found to have survived after induced labor, female doctors will also adopt them. To this end, he is already the mother of many children. In the end, everything seemed to calm down. It seems that we still don't know that Xiaohei is cheating. Take your daughter to the ward to visit Xiaohei. He suddenly looked meaningfully at the woman next to Xiaohei in the hospital bed. It seems that my younger brother is saying something to him. The revenge of the British seems to have not ended yet. This story is adapted from a real event. Thai police reported in Bangkok that 202 bodies of infants and fetuses were found dead, and there are more than 20 clinics near the temple that carry out illegal abortions. Thailand repeated throughout the country. Good deeds are rewarded with good deeds. Evil is rewarded with evil. The concept of sick was souls deeply rooted in people's hearts. Therefore, this movie turns this event into a horror film. It is not surprising to adopt this more extreme approach to explain this truth.